All eyes on the national capital. Suspense looms over Delhi Chief Minister. Key huddle in BJP. Hectic parleys underway. Five contenders in race for top post. Ultimate decision in top leadership's hands. कौन बनेगा दिल्ली का सीएम? Top focus on 6 p.m. prime.
Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. 48 hours since that stunning historic mandate for the BJP in the national capital, we're putting the focus on the next big question. Who will be the next Delhi Chief Minister? All the details, details that we're picking up from the meetings that are happening in the BJP High Command huddles. We'll also be telling you about the fallout of this mandate in other states, like in Punjab, where there are questions about whether the AAP government there too will now be toppled. We'll get you all the latest on that. Let's begin. Since the mandate for the BJP, we've been seeing back-to-back party meetings taking place with the BJP top brass to go ahead and finalize the name of the next Delhi Chief Minister. There are so many names doing the rounds. Obviously, on top of that list is Parvesh Verma, referred to as a giant slayer now because he's the one who defeated Arvind Kejriwal in New Delhi. But there's also talk that there could be some surprise pick, as the BJP is known to do. Think Madhya Pradesh, think Rajasthan, think Odisha. That's what the BJP did. Picked someone nobody guessed would be the next Chief Minister. But ultimately, the decision lies with the High Command. All those who are in contention to be the next Chief Minister, every single one of them has said, we will abide by whatever Prime Minister Modi decides.
48 hours since the historic mandate for BJP, one question looms. Who will be the chosen one in the BJP? Who will be the Delhi Chief Minister? The Delhi BJP leadership has made it clear that the ultimate decision rests with Prime Minister Modi, and the swearing in will take place only after his return from America. But there's endless buzz over who the BJP top brass will pick, and there are many names doing the rounds. The front-runner in the race is Parvesh Verma, the giant slayer who could be rewarded with the Chief Minister throne for defeating Arvind Kejriwal in New Delhi seat. For now, however, Verma maintains it's completely up to the High Command.
कई सारे बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ता सोचते हैं कि केजरीवाल को हराने के बाद अगले मुख्यमंत्री के लिए सबसे प्रबल दावेदारी आपकी है।
तो जो भी पार्टी का विधायक दल तय करेगा, जो पार्टी की लीडरशिप तय करेगी, वो सभी को मंजूर होगा।
Another name doing the rounds is Vijendra Gupta, senior BJP leader and who has been the leader of opposition in Delhi Assembly. Vijendra Gupta is also key Vaishya face of the BJP.
सीएम के इच्छुक हैं आप?
मैं तो विधायक हूँ, विधायक था, 48 विधायकों में से एक हूँ। पार्टी जिसको चाहेगी सब बराबर है।
सीनियर नेता है बीजेपी के?
मैं पार्टी का कार्यकर्ता हूँ।
Another senior face is Satish Upadhyay, a Brahmin face who's close to the RSS. Upadhyay will be a safe bet for the BJP to head Delhi.
पर आपका भी नाम है जो अभी सीएम रेस में चल रहा है।
मुझे लगता है कि इस समय लोगों के फूलों की बरसात को आप देखें तो ज्यादा अच्छा लगेगा। आप जिन विषयों पर हमारा कोई मतलब नहीं है उस पर बात करने का कोई फायदा नहीं है।
The BJP is keeping everyone guessing, and names like Ashish Sood, Jitendra Mahajan, Rekha Gupta are also doing the rounds. Will the BJP spring a surprise like it did in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Odisha? Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's get you details of what we've picked up from BJP sources on who could be the next chief minister. One thing is clear, there's been a lot of speculation that it could be even a member of parliament who could be brought in, a fresh face who wasn't even in the election race. Sources telling us that's not going to happen. The next chief minister of Delhi will be from among the MLA elects. A woman MLA could also be CM face. In that case, is Rekha Gupta the front runner really to be taking up the top post? But besides the chief minister, the party could also choose to have a deputy chief minister. And this is largely done by the BJP to ensure that caste equations are balanced, equally represented, so that those communities that have voted for the BJP feel adequately represented in the cabinet and at the top posts. So in the cabinet also, BJP sources telling us that there will be women and Dalits who are a part of the cabinet. Let me bring in Aishwarya Paliwal for more details. Aishwarya, there was talk maybe Bhasuri Swaraj, maybe Smriti Irani. The message we're getting right now from our sources is that it's going to be one of the MLAs, so that rules out several names. But they've also said that there's a possibility of a woman face. Does that make Rekha Gupta here the front runner?
Well, definitely. We have seen the national capital, only 2 women chief ministers ever. For a few days, we did see that it was Sushma Swaraj, who was the chief minister, and then for 15 long years, it was Sheila Dikshit. Will BJP also now make sure that they come up with a woman face? They are not doing away with this fact, so there are chances that we could see a woman chief minister also, and we could also see a deputy. So that is the formula that the BJP at the moment is working on. But one thing they are very clear: there will be no one who will come from top. No one will be from outside the selected MLAs. There are 48 MLAs, and the party now knows that they are the ones who really worked hard on the ground. The face, obviously, Akshata was Prime Minister Narendra Modi's, but the groundwork, the legwork was actually done by each and every one of them. So the idea is to reward them, and we have seen this formula in the state of Madhya Pradesh, in the state of Odisha, in the state of BJP doing this in other states as well. So we'll make sure, the party will make sure, and that's what we are gathering from the sources at the moment, that amongst the MLAs, and women 1 and Pravesh Sahib Singh Verma 2, these are the front runners at the moment, the names that we are hearing. But don't be surprised, Akshata, if a third name comes out and that person becomes the chief minister, because that is something that BJP is known to do. From what we are understanding, from today, in the next 10 days, the picture will be crystal clear, and the oath-taking ceremony will also take place in the next fortnight.
Okay, so by this week, we should really have clarity, because the swearing-in could take place once the Prime Minister is back from his US tour. Thanks for the moment, Aishwarya, for joining us with those details. There are a number of factors, of course, that the BJP will consider, keep in mind, and think about meticulously before going ahead and choosing who will be the next Delhi Chief Minister. Let's break down for you each of those factors and why they're crucial in the discussions that the BJP is having right now. First, to ensure a non-Brahmin face to manage caste equation. Now, remember that for the BJP, even in Delhi, the Brahmin vote bank is crucial. But they've also got, at this point, 2 Brahmin chief ministers in Rajasthan and Maharashtra. So to ensure adequate representation of other castes also, they could bring someone else in the national capital. A clean image, non-controversial face is something, again, the BJP will focus on, because that's something they've promised. Their basis of attack on the Aam Aadmi Party was corruption. So they'll want to ensure that it's someone who doesn't have any pending criminal cases against them, and non-controversial as well. Administrative experience, because whoever's going to be heading the government in the national capital, there are a lot of hopes riding on them because of the fact that the BJP has made several promises of development, of transforming the national capital. So administrative experience to ensure they deliver on that. Now, remember that a couple of factors that the BJP has to consider while talking about caste and communities that favored them. The Sikh vote, Purvanchali vote. This was considerable for the BJP. So they'll want to ensure their representation. Will that be in the form of the chief minister, or will it be in the cabinet itself? We'll have to see. Now, the fifth factor, which is what we spoke about, a woman face to boost the Nari Shakti image. And as Aishwarya also told you, Delhi has seen 2 women chief ministers, both iconic women in the political landscape of the country, Sushma Swaraj, Sheila Dikshit. So will the BJP choose a woman leader, especially because the woman vote in Delhi has been crucial in helping them secure this win? We'll have to see really how the BJP brings all this together. Perhaps not necessarily just for the CM face, but also if there's a deputy chief minister and for the cabinet to ensure adequate representation. We're not expecting to get an answer to who will be the next Delhi chief minister in the next 24 hours. It could take a few days once Prime Minister Modi is back from America. So about this weekend or post that is when we can expect some clarity. But the fallout and ripples of AAP's massive loss in Delhi is being felt across the country. We'll first focus on what's happening in Punjab, because remember, the Aam Aadmi Party is in power in neighbouring Punjab as well. For the Bhagwant Mann-led government, there are questions about whether there's trouble. Is the Punjab Congress trying to take over the government, or is it all just political grandstanding, just trying to create some buzz on ground and create a threat for Arvind Kejriwal? There's a meeting set to take place tomorrow of Arvind Kejriwal with all the Punjab leaders that's got everyone speculating that this is Kejriwal checking if his flock remains together.
Demolished in Delhi is the Aam Aadmi Party government in Punjab, also on shaky ground. Arvind Kejriwal has called for a meeting for all 92 AAP MLAs in Delhi on Tuesday. It was Punjab leader of opposition Pratap Singh Bajwa's interview to India Today that set the cat among the pigeons.
See, Bhagwant was saying I'm going to win 13 and we won 7 and he won just 3. And from 92 we brought them down to 32. So we are fighting tooth and nail, and we are sure 100% we are going to pin them down in the next elections. But before elections, if something takes place, we should not be sitting as ducks over there. No? We should be prepared. A lot of MLAs are in touch, obviously.
On Monday, Congress MP Dharamveer Gandhi added more fuel to the fire.
अगर ये दुस्साहस करेंगे तो पंजाब की आम आदमी पार्टी भी और पंजाब के लोग भी इसको कतई बर्दाश्त नहीं करेंगे और बहुत बड़ी बगावत होगी, क्योंकि सिद्धांत नाम की चीज आम आदमी पार्टी की नहीं है। तो हमने बहुत जल्दी देखा कि ये हमारे आदर्शों की पार्टी नहीं है, ये बिल्कुल झूठ बोलते हैं, जो कहते हैं वो जो करते हैं वो करते नहीं है।
The BJP, fresh off its Delhi sweep, is also alleging that Kejriwal wants to remove Bhagwant Mann as Punjab Chief Minister.
ऐसा बताया जा रहा है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल जी अब भगवंत मान जी को नालायक बताकर, इनएफिशिएंट बताकर, उन्होंने औरतों का 1000 रुपया देने का वादा पूरा नहीं किया, पंजाब में नशा नहीं वो रोक पा रहे, पंजाब के लॉ एंड ऑर्डर हालात खराब हो गए हैं, ये कहकर भगवंत मान जी को हटाना चाहते हैं।
The BJP MP from Punjab, Ravneet Bittu, added another twist.
हम तो कहेंगे बिल्कुल भी सरकार एक दिन भी कम नहीं होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि 5 साल मिलेंगे तो पता चलेगा ना इन्होंने क्या किया है, तभी सामने आएगा ना इनका रूप। बिल्कुल हमारी तरफ से कोई कोशिश या कोई भी ऐसी नहीं की जाएगी ना। अगर हमारे पास एमएलए आ भी जाएं तब भी धक्के दे के बाहर निकाल देंगे, भी अपना आप झेलो, हमारे पास आपकी कोई जगह नहीं है।
For now, Aam Aadmi Party has rubbished claims of Maharashtra rerun in Punjab.
ये बाजवा बोलता है, बाजवा छोड़ना चाहता होगा कांग्रेस। अभी पता चला था बाजवा इस इलेक्शन में, दिल्ली के इलेक्शन में अमित शाह को मिला है। शायद आम आदमी पार्टी का एक भी एमएलए कोई भी किसी के संपर्क विच नहीं, सारे पार्टी के नाल है और असी अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की अगुवाई दे हेठ पंजाब दे पार्टी को होर मजबूत करांगे।
जहां तक संगठन की बैठकों की बात है तो पार्टी है, पार्टी एक कंटिन्यू प्रोसेस है और हम तमाम पार्टी की यूनिट, चाहे वो पंजाब हो चाहे दिल्ली हो, उनसे फीडबैक भी ले रहे हैं और आगे की योजना भी बना रहे हैं। ये एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल मीटिंग है, पार्टी के तमाम जो लीडरशिप है उससे फीडबैक भी लिया जाता है, आगे की योजना भी बनाई जाती है, ये उसी क्रम में मीटिंग है।
The tremors of the Delhi jolt are quaking Punjab. Will Bhagwant Mann and his government survive? With Kamaljeet Sandhu and Rahul Gautam, Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, let's bring in Kamaljeet Sandhu on this broadcast for more details. Kamaljeet, tomorrow's meet that Arvind Kejriwal will in fact be heading with all of the AAP leaders of Punjab. What's on the agenda? Because that's what's got tongues wagging, that look, there could be trouble that's rocking the AAP boat in Punjab.
Poll debacle in Delhi and 2 years to go before Punjab goes to assembly polls. But it seems that the opponents are taking every opportunity to strike at the Aam Aadmi Party. Now, they are also calling it an unstable government right here in Punjab, though they have 92 out of the 117 MLAs. So, Punjab Aam Aadmi Party MLAs were telling us that the party is not on a shaky ground here, as being claimed either by the Congress Party or by the BJP. They are also saying that this is a disinformation campaign. At best, they're trying to hit back at Aam Aadmi Party. but they're saying the meeting called in by Arvind Kejriwal is all as a morale boosting exercise, saying this sort of a thing is done post every election, and the leadership would want to do a course correction if at all required, because remember, Aam Aadmi Party MLAs, their ministers and even the Chief Minister were campaigning in Delhi. So this is going to be something that they're going to be looking at, and like how BJP says double engine ki sarkar, they would want to run a similar thing where Arvind Kejriwal as well as the other Delhi ministers can actually be a force multiplier. But many are also speculating whether all things will remain well, because Bhagwant Mann continues to be in power of a full state of Punjab. Meanwhile, Arvind Kejriwal is out of power. So a whole lot of speculative theories being put out, especially by the opponents. But meanwhile, the Aam Aadmi Party saying this is all, these are all baseless sort of allegations being levelled, and they're just trying to hit back at a time where Aam Aadmi Party's chips are down.
Okay, all right. We'll track what happens in that meeting tomorrow. But thanks for the moment, Kamaljeet, for joining us with those details. Let's also talk about the open bickering within the India bloc as a result of the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress fighting it out over the result. Congress has responded to AAP's claim that because of them, AAP has lost in several seats. Congress has responded saying it's not our duty to ensure AAP's victory in Delhi. The Aam Aadmi Party has gone as far as to call Congress BJP's B team in the national capital. Meanwhile, you have other members of the India bloc also questioning why the Congress and AAP didn't fight together in this election and saying what's the point of this alliance if we don't ensure that it seeps down to the state level as well. Mamata Banerjee has also lashed out at the Congress, saying that there's no question of a Congress-TMC alliance in Bengal because the Congress has simply no presence in the state.
BJP's stunning victory in the national capital has opened massive fault lines in opposition India bloc. Aam Aadmi Party and Congress have engaged in a massive blame game, calling each other BJP's B team.
इनका कहीं से मकसद ये नहीं था दोनों का कि हम जीते। इनका मकसद था आम आदमी पार्टी को हराना, वो कहीं ना कहीं उसमें कामयाब हुए। अब बीजेपी जीत गई, हो सकता है उनके लिए बेहतर हो, मुझे तो समझ में आता नहीं है। जब आप ये कहते हो कि हम बीजेपी के खिलाफ चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं, तो ऐसा तो कहीं दिखा तो है नहीं। वो तो इंडिया गठबंधन का एक पार्ट था, मजबूत पार्ट था आम आदमी पार्टी, उसके खिलाफ चुनाव लड़ रहे थे। राहुल गांधी ओखला में आए, आना नहीं चाहिए था उन्हें, अब से पहले तो कभी नहीं आए, जब वहाँ पे एमएलए रहते तब भी नहीं आए।
क्या कांग्रेस पार्टी की जिम्मेदारी है कि आम आदमी पार्टी को जिताएं? इस वक्त दिल्ली में हमारे अस्तित्व का सवाल था, और अगर हम गठबंधन करने जाते और आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार बनती तो कांग्रेस पार्टी इसमें कहाँ रहती। ऐसा नहीं हुआ है कभी कि आम आदमी पार्टी ने कांग्रेस की मदद करी है, तो ये जो अलायंस इंडिया अलायंस के तहत भी हुआ था, ये गलती थी। एक
कांग्रेस पार्टी ने जिस तरह लड़ा उससे तो नुकसान हो सकता है, लेकिन माइनॉरिटी सीट तो नहीं बटाए। वो कांग्रेस इसी काम को कर रही थी पहले दिन से, वो रोकना चाहती थी। वो तो हम तो पहले दिन से कह रहे हैं कि कांग्रेस जो है भाजपा की बी टीम बनकर काम कर रही थी दिल्ली के अंदर, और उसी का नतीजा है ये जो हुआ है।
कांग्रेस ने पहले से बेहतर प्रदर्शन किया, हमारा वोट प्रतिशत बढ़ा है। डेफिनेटली खोया उन्होंने, हमने कुछ नहीं खोया, हमने पाया है, और डेफिनेटली बीजेपी ने उसका लाभ उठाने में कामयाब बीजेपी होती हुई इन चुनावों में दिखी है। सरकार अब उनकी बनी है, लेकिन सबसे बड़ा लूजर और नुकसान किसी का हुआ है तो वो आम आदमी पार्टी का हुआ है।
Aam Aadmi Party is even considering pulling out from the India bloc.
कांग्रेस भी इसके लिए जिम्मेदार रही है या कांग्रेस ने वोट काटा है? कहीं पर पार्टी में इस तरह का मंथन है?
अभी सिर्फ हम अपनी समीक्षा करें और अपने तरीके से हम लोग देखेंगे कि कहां हमसे चूक हुई।
इंडिया ब्लॉक अब रहेगा, आम आदमी पार्टी की भूमिका अब इंडिया ब्लॉक में क्या होगी? आप उसका हिस्सा होंगे या उससे अलग होंगे?
अब इसके बारे में पार्टी का जो नेतृत्व है वही तय करेगा।
अभी तक कोई फैसला नहीं?
अभी तक कोई फैसला।
While Jammu Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah took an aur lado jibe at Aam Aadmi Party and Congress, top opposition netas too slammed the poor show by Aam Aadmi Party and Congress in Delhi.
अगर लोकसभा चुनाव आ जाएगा तो अब हमसे बात करेंगे, सबसे बात करेंगे। विधानसभा में आप एक ऐसी स्थिति पैदा कर देते हैं कि बातचीत नहीं होती, तो ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी है सबकी, मिलजुल कर बैठो। अगर दोनों में बात नहीं बनती है तो और हमारे साथी है उनको बुलाइए, क्या कर सकते हैं। लेकिन एक दूसरे के हराने में जो मजा आती है हमारे कुछ लोगों को, उससे तो बीजेपी जीत रही है।
दिस दिल्ली इलेक्शन will not create any impact upon Bengal, and in the coming 2026 assembly election, Congress is zero, just zero.
The BJP has mocked the opposition unity, calling it an opportunistic sham which is unraveling.
ये तो पहले ही महाराष्ट्र वाले कह चुके, पवार साहब कह चुके, उद्धव ठाकरे कह चुके, उसके बाद कांग्रेस के भी नेता कह चुके हैं. एनडीए अलायंस तो समाप्त हुआ, हम लोगों ने श्रद्धांजलि भी दे दी उसको.
Is the anti-Modi bloc falling apart under weight of its internal contradictions? With Mausami Singh in New Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
But let's talk about the Congress's performance. Like I said, they've increased their vote share from 4% to 6% in the national capital. Does that mean that they've gained as far as seat share goes? Not really. The third time that they've managed to get a zero in the national capital, a hat-trick of zeros in Delhi. And the BJP has been mocking the Congress's performance. Here's BJP MP Anurag Thakur, who in Lok Sabha mocked the Congress performance in Delhi elections with this taunt.
राहुल जी, जीरो चेक कर लीजिए. एक जीरो और भी. ये कांग्रेस की सीटों की बात नहीं है. सन 2014 के लोकसभा चुनाव, दिल्ली की जनता ने कांग्रेस को कितनी सीटें दी? 2015 के विधानसभा में कांग्रेस को कितनी सीटें दी? 2019 के लोकसभा में कितनी सीटें दी? 2020 के विधानसभा में कितनी सीटें दी? 2024 के लोकसभा में कितनी सीटें दी? 2025 के विधानसभा में कितनी सीटें दी? अगर ये जीरो का रिकॉर्ड बनाने का काम किसी ने किया है तो राहुल जी के नेतृत्व में कांग्रेस पार्टी ने किया है. सर, ये दिल्ली वालों ने तो कांग्रेस को बड़ा जीरो दे दिया. अब बंगाल में भी तृणमूल का जीरो होने वाला है.
YouTuber sparks outrage with obscene joke. Ranveer Allahabadia's crass sex with parents joke. Dark joke on sexuality, Maharashtra CM frowns. Beer biceps apologizes for the vulgar joke.
My comment wasn't just inappropriate, it wasn't even funny. Comedy is not my forte. I'm just here to say sorry.
Uncouth YouTubers take it too far. Vulgar comedy sparks outrage. Top focus on 6 p.m. Prime.
Ranveer Allahabadia, or referred to as Beer Biceps for his YouTube page, has triggered a massive controversy as a guest show in a comedy show called India's Got Latent. He made a joke, a dark joke apparently, about sex with parents that's got everyone outraged. Now, human rights groups, netizens, they filed multiple complaints against him. And it's not just him. His co-host in the show, Samay Raina, another comedian, is also facing multiple complaints. But there's a larger debate here that this incident sparks about whether there's a need for regulation on OTT platforms. Ranveer Allahabadia, who goes by the name Beer Biceps on social media, and Samay Raina, comedian and organizer of India's Got Latent, have landed in a soup. In an episode of the widely famous comedy show, Ranveer made a vulgar sex with parents joke. It was met with laughter and applause, not just from the fellow creators and judges, but also from the audience. Beer Biceps' joke triggered widespread outrage, drawing the ire of even the Maharashtra Chief Minister.
बहुत बुरे तरीके से चीज़ों को कहा गया है, प्रेजेंट किया गया है, ऐसा मुझे भी पता चला है, जो बिल्कुल गलत है. फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच सभी को है, लेकिन हमारी फ्रीडम वहाँ समाप्त हो जाती है जब हम किसी और के फ्रीडम पर इंक्रोच करते हैं, और इस प्रकार का इंक्रोचमेंट ठीक नहीं है.
Netas and netizens are demanding action against the popular YouTubers.
स्टैंड-अप कॉमेडी हो या कुछ हो, एक हद तक ठीक लगता है, इतने गंदे मजाक ठीक नहीं लगते. मैंने अभी वो NCW चेयरपर्सन को वो वीडियो फॉरवर्ड किया है कि उस पे एक्शन लिया जाए.
हमारे देश की संस्कृति को कोई भी खराब करना चाहे, कितना भी बड़ा आदमी हो, उसको माफ नहीं किया जाता, एकदम क्लियर है।
3 complaints have been filed against the content creators, and India's got latent organizers for using foul and abusive language.
It's time to teach them a lesson. Our youngsters should be brought back to the good path. Their energy should be channelized for nation's well-being and common upliftment. I hope these kind of perversion will be checked.
The Mumbai police soon reached Samay Raina's latent studio in car for a probe. With the heat mounting, Ranveer Elabadia issued an apology, claiming comedy is not his forte and that he would never disrespect family.
My comment wasn't just inappropriate, it wasn't even funny. Comedy is not my forte. I'm just here to say sorry. Many of you asked if this is how I wish to use my platform, and obviously this is not how I wish to use it. I'm not going to give any context or justification or reasoning behind whatever happened. I'm just here for an apology.
This isn't the first time a YouTube show stirred controversy. Will this fresh storm trigger regulation of OTT content? Bureau Report, India Today. Devotees are flocking to Prayagraj for the Mahakumbh, and today you saw a huge number of devotees coming in, leading to massive jams, a historic gathering of pilgrims. Let's get you some of the images coming in from the Mahakumbh. First, of course, President Draupadi Murmu was in Prayagraj today and took a holy dip at the Triveni Sangam in the Kumbh. President Murmu was welcomed by the Governor of Uttar Pradesh. Also, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath accompanied her. Several actors have been visiting the Mahakumbh for a holy dip. The latest being actor Vijay Deverakonda, who was spotted at the Triveni Sangam with his mother on Sunday. Look at the images on your screens. Massive crowds who've gathered at the Prayagraj Mahakumbh, and clearly there's no sign of it slowing down. Morning, noon, night, there's a steady stream of pilgrims continuing to gather along the banks of the Sangam. It's led to massive traffic snarls. Some saying this is the world's largest traffic jam, and these images show you how a sea of vehicles stretching for hundreds of kilometers turned the roads leading to the Mahakumbh into literally parking lots. And it's no different at the railway stations too. This is how the train station in Prayagraj looks, packed with pilgrims attending the Mahakumbh. Thousands are arriving every single day, and the station is bustling with activity. It's not just the Amrit Snan days or the weekends. Every single day now at Prayagraj, at the Mahakumbh, you're seeing this massive sea of people gathering. And that's led to Prayagraj literally coming to a standstill. Massive traffic congestion that's been reported, with people saying that they were stranded for over 15 hours waiting on the roads, hoping to get closer to the Ghat. Jams extending right up to 300 kilometers, right up to Madhya Pradesh's cities.
All roads leading to Prayagraj are jammed, and literally an unprecedentedly large number of vehicles driving towards the Sangam city for the Mahakumbh clogged the national highways across North India on Sunday, leading to hours and kilometers long traffic jams. Hundreds and thousands of devotees arriving at Prayagraj almost every day to take a holy dip at the Sangam.
करने क्या आए थे इसे लेकर?
मैं खिलौना बेचने के लिए आया था, माल
बेचने के लिए?
खिलौना
खिलौना बिक गया?
माल थोड़ा बहुत लेके आया था, वो खत्म हो गया, फिर क्या करें बेटे?
आपने सोचा कि ले जा रहे किसी की मदद ही हो जाएगी.
How is the experience here in the past 24 hours?
You know what I love the most about being here is the feeling of community and the feeling of togetherness and belonging. So I feel everybody is here with the same aim in mind, that they want to go for the Sangam, the Snan, and be here for the blessings of our gods.
Scores of devotees have thronged Sangam city, the place where Mahakumbh area is, and we are on top view to show you the visuals about the footfall, what's happening in Mahakumbh. The next will be the visuals from near the Sangam and Lete Hue Hanumanji temple. You can clearly understand about the number of devotees, pilgrims who are coming.
सभी श्रद्धालुओं से जो भी बाहर से आ रहे हैं, 4 व्हीलर से, 6 व्हीलर से, जो भी गाड़ी है, कृपया यहीं से वापस हो जाओ.
Due to massive traffic jams on the road to Prayagraj, a large number of devotees were asked to return.
मत होने दीजिए, आगे बढ़ते रहिए, आगे बढ़ते रहिए आप लोग, आगे बढ़ते रहें.
Social media platforms are flooded with complaints and videos of the traffic jams, in which many people have shared their experiences. Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav lashed out at the Yogi Adityanath-led Uttar Pradesh government over the massive traffic jams on roads leading to Prayagraj. He also flagged the inconvenience faced by pilgrims, devotees and passengers who've been forced to wait for hours, often without food, water and even toilet facilities.
लोगों की बहुत स्थिति खराब है. भारतीय जनता पार्टी से और योगी जी से सवाल होने चाहिए. केवल विज्ञापन, केवल फोटो, तस्वीरें लगाना, केवल मीडिया में लाइव करना ही था उनके लिए कुंभ. मैं समझता हूँ ये सरकार पूरी तरह नाकाम रही. अनुभवी लोगों को इस कुंभ के आयोजन से बहुत दूर रखा है इन्होंने.
Both the Uttar Pradesh and the Madhya Pradesh governments assured devotees they were trying their best to manage the traffic and ensure facilities for pilgrims. President Draupadi Murmu also took a holy dip at the Trivedi Sangam in Prayagraj.
You have to plan your trip to Mahakumbh at least after 12th, after the 4th Snan of Maghi Purnima, to avoid this congestion, this crowd, as scores of devotees are thronging the temples and the Sangam for the holy dip. With cameraman Rohit Samarth Srivastava for India Today.
Okay, let's get you now a news break coming in from Karnataka. There's been a lot of focus on the investors' meet that the Siddaramaiah government is organizing, and the Congress High Command, Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge, were expected to be there for the first day of the summit. But it looks like the High Command is going to give the event a miss, snubbing Siddaramaiah and the government. Why? Because they're reportedly miffed. The leadership is reportedly upset over the invite card because it mentions the union ministers in great prominence as compared to Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge. So they're miffed with their own party men for the format of the invite card that's been put out for the Investor Summit. And so you'll have union ministers in attendance, but nobody from the Congress High Command. Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge reportedly miffed with the Siddaramaiah government over the manner in which their names have been mentioned in the invite card after union ministers, which you would expect considering it's the central government and state government and there's certain protocol to be followed. But sources telling us that the Karnataka government, the Siddaramaiah government, has done everything they can to kind of reach out to the top brass, assure them that they will be given enough prominence. But we're hearing from our sources that it's unlikely that Rahul and Kharge will attend. All right, the India Energy Week 2025, the country's premier global energy event, kicks off tomorrow in the national capital, bringing together top industry leaders, policymakers and innovators to shape the future of energy. With a focus on sustainability, investment and technology, the event will see key announcements and strategic discussions over the next 4 days.
IEW 25 is poised to be bigger, diverse and more impactful than its previous 2 editions. It will span 1 lakh square meters, and will be the second largest energy event globally in terms of participation, which means ministers, CEOs, exhibition space sessions.
All right, with that, I'm wrapping up this edition of 6 p.m. Prime.